Hello people, welcome to Guide for Too Many Worlds. So in my previous video, we have seen various commands um, for the system defined variables and user defined variables, how we can concatenate two strings, how we can define a number, everything in our bash scripting. So in this tutorial, I would like to go further more into this bash scripting. So meaning I would like to add a few more commands um, and few more scripting into this. So in this tutorial, I would like to add some inputs from the user, and I would like to print those inputs uh, to the command. Uh, let's see how we can do all these things. Yes. So if you can see previously, let me check what are the files I have right now. So previously I have some data in my hello world.sh. I would like to clear this with the following command. I'm just wiping out the data which is there in the hello world.sh. So right now if you can see, if I read this file, I don't have anything here. Let's create some more data into this file. So it is of type, the script that I am writing currently is um, bash. So I'll add bash, and then let's print something here. So what I'm doing here is I'm just printing uh, my my first string. Okay, and if I print this, it says that printing my first string in the command. So this can be done in different ways, but why I need to go for a script instead of direct command? Let's see how it works and what is the difference here. Let's say I am writing the same command here uh, to print it on my command, printing my first string. So what happens? It is directly printing this command into my terminal. Now, if I would like to go for multiple commands in a single shot, then what I need to do? So with this command I can run only one command at a time here in my command prompt. So let's say, let me hold some variables here where equal to some printing my first command, and it has something, and I'm going to write one more variable, printing second command. Now if I print this, it says that printing my first command and then printing my second command. If I would like to go, then I need to use different variables here that I have created earlier. So it says that printing my first command and then printing my second command. So what happened here is, like, previously I have created a single command and it is printing there itself. If I would like to go for multiple, then I am holding these things in a variable and then in a different variable like var1, var2, and then I am printing those separately. The main drawback here is, like, if I want to execute multiple commands, then I can't do this at a time. That's the reason that we are going for the uh, scripting here. So let's uh, get into more details with this script. So it is executing. There is something here. Now I'll edit this hello.sh, and then I'll just hold this in a variable, and let's see how it works with previous one. Okay, I'm holding variable 1, and I'm holding variable 2, and then I'm printing all these things there, and var 1. So what I did here is I'm holding a string in var, the other string in the var2. Now I'm printing those var and var1 in a command. Okay, let's execute this. Now you can see it is printing only one thing and it is not printing the other thing. Let's get into this file and what happens we'll see here. Since I am holding a separate variable here, it is not taking my second uh, command. So now let's see how it works. Still, if you can see, it is printing only the first string. I think there is something wrong with my, yeah, I'm sorry, it's my bad that I have written a wrong variable name. That's the reason it is not printing and it is not complaining anything. This is a bad if we want to find some mistakes here. Now let's see. Now you can see printing my first string and then concatenated with and symbol and then printing my second string. So you can execute a number of commands into the command prompt using this uh, bash scripting. That is the benefit of writing this script. Now I would like to go further more details into this bash scripting. Now you have seen we are holding this on a variables and then we are doing all these things. But don't you feel this is a kind of repetitive work? Or if I want to change my variable names or whatever the content which is holding in the variable, then it is very difficult for me to do all these things. Every time I need to edit my file and then I need to my work around all these variables, etc, etc. So to avoid these things, we can do one more thing, like we can use the uh, some what we say is some command line terminal uses, like meaning you can give some variable or you can give some or you can pass some variable through the script from your command, and then it takes this input and then it prints the value to the command. Let's see how we can check this. Let me clear this screen. So I'm just entering into my screen. So you can see that I'm holding some string here. So let me show a more details on this. Okay, now what happens if I write a 0 here? So in generally, bash is allowing the users to write their command line terminals or parameters from uh, 1 to 9 numbers. So the user can enter these as a command line terminals, and then they can access the uh, values from the user input, and it can be printed taken further. So let's see what happens if I print $0. So from $1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 till there, we can be able to access this user inputs, and then we can process. But what happens when we write some $0 here? So let's see uh, what happens here, and let me execute my script here. And what it says that, hey, it says that command is not found. Okay, something wrong again. Now I'm just holding this, but I'm not doing anything here. So let me print this using dollar var. You can see something interesting here. Okay, it says that, hey, it is printing same whatever the script that I am executing, meaning $0 is a predefined variable provided by the bash, which has uh, the information of the script which you are writing. So it holds basically the script that you are currently holding. So we should not use this $0 predefined variables. Let's see further how we can access the user defined variables here. So what happens if you give some user input here? A user input is a command line terminal that can be accessible through some variables from your script here. So okay, something wrong. Let me get into another terminal. There is some problem with my terminal. Okay, now it is clear. So now now let's see what happens if I pass some values here. Hey, what happens? Nothing. It doesn't hold any variables here. So let's try to adapt this script with some variables. Now you can see I have given my the script name here. It holds the script name. Now add some more things. I'm just printing this here with the script name is this one. Now hold some variables which are given by user. Okay, so I'm just creating a variable called abc, and then I'm holding some value here with using $1, and then I'm printing this dollar abc, and let me give something here. I'll just add some message here. Hey, holding my first variable from command line, and it says, let's see. So I have added this script. Now let's pass some command lines. Okay, hello, good morning. Let's see. It says that my script has been printed here, and then says that, hey, holding my first variable from command line. This is the message that I have printed in my script, and it holds only one variable. Why? What is the reason here? If we can observe this, I am passing all these things with spaces. So it doesn't hold all the variables with space, and each space is treated as a separate variable here. So if you want to do this same thing, you need to maintain a proper way of defining these things. Let's see the difference. Hello, good morning. Now you can see this is printing the whole variable here, and because it doesn't allow the spaces for holding multiple values in a single variable. Now we can, let's get into this and add few more variables here. And what happens for the above scenario? Then we can add a few more variables which holds this uh, 4 $5 $6. Now execute the same command again here. It says that in the line number 10, command not found. Okay, let's see what happened. So it says uh, I have given three variables here, and then let me pass. It still says command not found. Okay, and the reason that it doesn't allow users to type multiple variables here, meaning it doesn't allow users to hold multiple variables in a series. So you need to write some array for this, or you need to hold this in a separate value. Okay, now let's see dollar cd dollar fch. Now execute this script here. Says something, and it doesn't print my values here. Oh, okay. um, $1, $2, $3. Okay. The problem here, if you have seen, is that I am passing all these command lines in a uh, single line. So it doesn't allow the uh, users to hold to pass multiple values here in a single line. There is a other way of defining for those things. For now, we'll just define these things. Hello, and it is printing this one, and then it is not going to the further variables. Yeah. Okay. Right. Now I would like to uh, improve this script with the read command, oh, by using the array to hold multiple values here. So what I can do is there is a predefined function in bash scripting, which can hold the list of array values here. So let's execute that one here using dollar at. So what exactly this dollar at symbol? So the dollar at is a default argument which is used to store the arguments in an array format. Okay. Now we'd like to print this, right? For that, since array is a index based uh, variable, we need to access the variables um, by using the array format. Like, let's print this here. So what I did is ABC of 1, and then and access the list of array variables which are coming from the user input. Okay, and dollar. Now there is a syntax error in my code which we can resolve. Okay, so you should not place the dollars inside your curly braces. You need to place outside the curly braces, and this is the index that we follow in generally. So all the arrays or all the array index starts from 0, so we can uh, remove this and then we replace with the 0, and let's see here what happens now. Hello, welcome to welcome bash. Okay, I'm sorry, I did something wrong, and I'm passing some user defined variables here. It says that bad substitution. I mean, there is something wrong with my name here. Let's look into this. What happened? And I could see there is a error in my script. So that's the reason it is complaining. So bash is working perfect. So I need to complete this. So I have corrected my script. Let's execute this with low bash welcome. Now you can see it is holding a list of variables. And what happens if you pass more than the defined variables? Meaning it doesn't take your further input apart from the index that you have mentioned in your echo statements. It holds, but it is you are not printing that variable outside. That is the reason that using. So if you can see, this is the syntax. So by default, $@ is a predefined variable provided by the bash script, and which holds a list of values in an array format, and then this can be accessed via the index here, and the array index starts from 0, and you can print n number of array values here. That is one thing. And let's see how further we can hold these things. uh, Coming to further things, I would like to go for some command um, substitution. So what is command substitution? What is the purpose of this command substitution? So it provides a flexibility with regards to the scripting and variable assignment, meaning it is very simple and easy for having single command line output. Let's see how it works here, and we'll see some syntax or how we can add these things and all. So let me execute this. Now you can see what happened. Now if I perform ls, it shows two file names. One is a directory and the other is a file name. So if you want to see these details clearly, so this is a file and this is a directory here. Okay, and I would like to access the same via script here. Let me execute this. So now I'm just clearing off my things from this console, and let's execute. Sure. So this is called command substitution. I'm just creating some variable called result, and I'm holding all these things which I have done earlier in a variable called result, and it lists all the files which are there in my current directory, and then I'm just printing my files in current directory, and then let's print the dollar result, and let's execute this. And if we execute this, it says that my files in the current directory is helloworld.sh and the world, and you are able to see these commands, meaning you are substituting your commands. Let me enhance this with furthermore what happens. And it says that my files in the current directory is total 1, and then it prints this directory name, and it prints the other in a multiple. So this is how you can use this command substitution to print multiple to print your commands. So this is what about the command substitution. uh, let's get into the more details. Now till so far we have seen how we can give a user input, how we can pass multiple variables, how we can handle a different array of where command line arguments passed by the user, and how we can execute a command line substitution or command substitution here. Now let's move further details, and let's see what other options that we can do here. I would like to read the user input uh, from the command arguments. Okay, for this there is a predefined function called read. So the read, the read command takes the input from the user and then it prints to the console, or it holds in a variable however we want. So the syntax for this is read and then what is the variable that you want to hold. So let's say some example, uh, let me print some company details here. So enter the name of the YouTube channel. Okay, I'm just giving the hint to user to enter some command here. Then I'm holding this uh, chan as channel name. Okay, and this read command holds this user input in the uh, channel name, and then I would like to ask, or I would like to print this subscribe to channel for further information and colon. I would like to print this dollar channel name, and if you can see here it is holding this variable and it is printing along with this name here. And then if I would like to add few more commands from the user, we can see in the next step. Let's print this. Okay, let me execute my script. It says, hey, enter the name of the YouTube channel, and my YouTube channel name is guide a path to many polls here. And you can see subscribe to channel for further information, a guide a path to many walls. This is the channel that is printing, meaning it takes the input from here and it appends this with the string that whatever the string that we are using. This is how the read command works here. Then let's get into further details and add few more uh, things here. So as of now you can see we have added a username, and then it reads this channel name and it prints along with some message here. Now if I would like to go for further user inputs, how we can provide. So let's add a few more things here. uh, who is the father of Indian nation? Okay, then let's see how the user can enter. So it's it's a name, so it just takes name and then it prints this father of nation of India is, and then it prints this name here. Let's see how it executes. Now I'm just clearing off my screen, and then Let's execute this script, and it says that, hey, enter the name of the YouTube channel. I said it is guide, and then uh, it prints this information guide along with some message, and it is taking further steps, and then it is asking who is the father of Indian nation. I will just say Mahatma Gandhi, and then it prints this. So with this, we have covered the different ways of accessing the user input by using the read command. We have uh, taken the command line arguments with the arrays, and then we know how we can index these things, and then we can pass multiple variables, and we know how uh, a $0 and $1 to 9 variables holds. All these things we have seen. In the further steps, we'll get into more details. Keep watching guide a part to many worlds. Yeah. Thank you.